And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Kelly Bates.
Well, here we are with our evening temperatures in the 30s, and this is what we would typically expect to see for this time of year. Your average high is 38. We've got 37 right now in downtown Providence. But we also have our winds moving in from the northwest, and occasionally we'll pick up a gust around 25 miles per hour. The result is it does feel cooler, and if you do have evening plans, I would dress for the 20s because that's what it's going to feel like. Right now, we don't have a whole lot to complain about. Sure, it's chilly, but it is seasonable. We have a couple of clouds around, and they'll kind of hang out with us overnight tonight. But this is where the real action is at. This is a very strong developing storm system that is just being fed by moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And this whole big area of low pressure will be rolling up through the Ohio River Valley, and eventually it will become ours tomorrow. So it's going to be moving pretty quickly. These are the things that have already been placed in advance of the storm system. We do have a winter weather advisory that has been issued for slippery roads during the late commute. We also have a wind advisory for the potential of coastal wind gusts from the south of 45 miles per hour or greater. We also have a flood watch that is in effect for a two-pronged thing. You see, we have the potential of poor drainage flooding from snow-clogged drains, and then on top of that, we're going to bring an inch plus of rain. And then the combination of the snow melt and the rain means that we're going to be watching a few area rivers very closely for flooding on Thursday. So here's how it plays out. Our area of high pressure leaves and enter that area of low pressure. It begins with snow because temperatures will be cold enough to support it at the onset. So this will be developing through the afternoon. Around 4 p.m., this is when it really gets cooking, and the rounds of heavier snow will be in place. During the late commute, we will basically convert it over to rain, and not just rain. It's going to be a soaking rain from time to time. So through the duration of the late commute, we're going to have reduced visibility, whether it be snow or rain. We're also going to have the potential of slippery road conditions, and we're going to watch the energy from one area of low pressure transfer to the development of another. And when that happens, that is what winds up those coastal winds. So this has a lot of facets to it. It's not just the snow transitioning over to the rain as we hit, say, the prime of the late commute. We're looking at rain that will be heavy at times through the overnight, and during the overnight, that's when our gusts of winds are likely going to peak as well. So we could see some coastal power outages as a result. In terms of how much snow we're going to get before the change, along the coast, little to nothing, because you'll be the first to change over to the rain, and the rain will be pretty aggressive, so you're not really going to have the time to see anything in terms of, well, plowable accumulation. As you go towards the interior, that's where 1 to 3 inches come into play, our higher amounts north and west of the city, and then 2 to 4 as you get closer to Worcester, simply because that's where we're going to spend more time as snow. But this one also has a very high rain component, and this is where all the problems sort of arise, because when you bring 1.5 inches of rain happening very quickly onto a snowpack of, say, 3 inches, it does lead to the potential of not only melting flooding, but also road flooding. Here's a look at our wind gusts, and again, they will be peaking as we hit the overnight time frame Wednesday into early Thursday, moving in from the south, likely meeting or exceeding 45, even 50 miles per hour in portions of the Cape, and it will still be breezy through Thursday. So those wind gusts will be with us, even though we are going to clear. Now we're going to talk about the flooding. The aerial flood watch has been issued for the area shaded in green. You'll notice it's all of Rhode Island except for Block Island and southeastern Mass. This is because we're going to be watching for the potential of flooding in local rivers. One of them, the Pawcatucket Westerly, expected minor flood stage by Thursday afternoon. The Wood River at Hope Valley, minor flood stage Thursday early afternoon. And the Patuxent River at Cranston will likely go into minor flood stage Thursday morning. So these are 3 of the most susceptible rivers locally that usually will go into flood when we have a significant event. So those are ones that we will be watching very carefully. Also, I suspect during Wednesday evening, the barrier might lower at Fox Point because we are looking for waters to come up to the flood stage. With that said, for tonight, partly cloudy and cold, lows will drop off to 26. For tomorrow, snow will develop in the afternoon, mix over to rain during the evening, making for a sloppy mess of a late commute. And here's our extended forecast. We do get to dry out for at least 3 days before we bring in our next round of precipitation, which looks to be a mixed bag for Monday leading into Tuesday. John?
Kelly.